Hello everyone, my name is Mario and welcome to the second video of getting started with React for absolute beginners. This is gonna be the second video and it's gonna be about a special tool that's widely used by developers all over the world. For me, as an example, I cannot imagine working without this tool. Before starting to explain what it is, I'm saying that it's not necessary for this class, so because you can do anything without this tool. But for me, for example, when I started to develop, I wanted to do everything correctly and do it right, not to do things only to work. And yeah, because when I was studying, I wanted to prepare for the market and wanted to start a job. So basically, if you know this tool, this will probably benefit you and help you when you start your position. And what I'm talking about is a tool called Git. So what is Git? Basically, Git is a tool that you install on your machine that will help you to version and to manage different versions of your program or your code. Basically, let's see what's the definition on Google for this. I've copy pasted just to see what is the definition, and I will explain this in details. Okay, so basically Git is a software for tracking changes in any set of files, usually used for coordinating work among programmers. So if you see, it's more about the teamwork. It's about speed, integrity, and yeah, it's about working fast and working correctly. So basically, you have a version of a file, you're doing some changes, but sometimes you want to go back to one state when your application worked. But if you don't have Git, it's really hard for you to go back to any state of your programming workflow or your project workflow. To do this, let me just explain you quickly. Here I have a Miro board that I'm gonna show you how Git works. Okay, so let's say you are the person with letter A that are starting a project. Like, you created a file and your first file, it's, let's say, contains this, just a function that say hello and prints out Git first version. So it's just a JavaScript function. Don't worry about what it is if you don't know anything. Okay, so one day you come and do some other changes to your code. For example, you go here, you add another line, you do console log and say this is the second version. Okay, but imagine you added just this line. Imagine if you did like 100 lines of code. Let's say like you did this and this. I'm just making 3 changes, but yeah, imagine if you did a lot of changes and you break your code somewhere, for example here, or you break the logic of your application, and now you don't remember at what stage your application was working, right? So for this you need a tool to manage all this thing, and Git is what will help you for this. So what Git will do is, when you have Git installed on your application, so initiated in your application, for every change you'll do, it will keep track of your changes. So for example, I did these changes, and what we call in Git is we call a commit. So whenever you do a change or a group of changes that you think that are good and you want to save that point in time, or you want to bookmark that point in time when your code worked before going with any other changes, you can commit this change, and yeah, this will save your changes as a bookmark. And then after you have committed, it will create on Git, on background, it will create a copy I will say it's a copy because of simplicity, but yeah, in background it's more complicated, but you don't need to know anything about that. You just need to know that this works this way. Okay, so you created a commit. Now the other day you come and do other changes. Like let's say I do this console log some other times. Okay, and let's say I break something and I want to go back. Now I know when was a time that my code worked because I have commits saved, or bookmarks we'll call it for now. So what I can do, I can revert back to my changes and I will delete all these other changes. So I just delete this, and here I'm back to my code. And you can do the same if you understood the flow. So yeah, I come here, this is a flow, I add some new features to my application, some more functions, some more functionalities. Okay, I like these changes, I commit again. So this will create a copy. So when I come the other day and do some changes, for example, I delete some parts that I don't need. Here I have my changes. If I want to go back, I delete. If I want to go back, I delete again. So it doesn't matter how many commits you do, you can go out to so long back in time. And yeah, like this, you can manage the application flow. But Git is not only for managing commits and reverting only your code, but it's also for you to collaborate with other people. Let's say you are the person A again, this is the scenario, and you created this file. But you are two people working on this project. And if the other person is also working on this code, you add a console log here. You do some changes to your code, let's say. Okay. And the other one did this change, so it changed from Git first version to something like Git second version. Okay, but now how are you going to get or be on the same pace of the project? How can you merge these two? Because if you see here, what you did is, let me pick another color for this. So this is done by person A, person A, person A, person A. Or to be more clear, I will mark this one is a new thing done from person A, and this thing is a change done by person B. Now, and one moment, so these are the lines that never changed. So how you gonna merge this? You cannot do this manually. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna open the files and okay, see what changed, what not. This is not really productive. And imagine in scale, when you have more than 2 persons or in a big company, you cannot work like this. Okay, so how Git helps with this is, let me delete this. Okay, you have the same scenario here. Okay, you start the project, you have the same code at the beginning. What the person B will do, it will create a new branch of the code. What I mean with a new branch, so it will copy everything. It's not done manually, it will be done by Git. So just creating a new branch will create a new copy of this code at the version that you created the branch. So the person B, let's say, create a new branch here, and the person A here has the same code. So now both of these A and B have the same code. So if I do changes here, let's say again, I added some console logs, but this one creates a new function. Hi, okay. So now what we see, we have two different things, and let's say this person continues to likes the version that he created. So as I explained before, he does a commit, so he save a bookmark in here, but then he decides that Okay, so person number with the letter B started to make changes, so he's happy about these changes. He's done with these changes. Now person number A does another change here, so he decided that he will remove one console log. So he removed that. He's happy. He gonna commit and save those changes with the bookmark in here. And yeah, continue again. Now does some other changes. What he does is that here he does a change to the version of the console log that he had it. So just I'm color this just to make sure that we notice the changes from which person they were done. So for person A, I will mark them red, and for person B, I will mark them with another color. Let's see, we'll make them purple. Okay, so now they both have committed, are happy about their changes, and now there is a point in time when you want to merge or combine your files because you finished a project or a feature that both of you were implementing. Now how Git will do the merge is we'll take the two branches that you were working, so these are called branches, and we'll check both of these. Okay, it looks like on the first function we have only one change, so it will take this change in here and append it, or in fact it will create a new version. So in here this was the starting version, sorry. Okay, so this was the starting version. Okay, it looked like this line was deleted from person A. This line was changed from person A. Okay. Come on. Was done by person A. So let me color this out. Okay, and it looks like we have a new function added by person B. So, and now let me color this out again. Okay. Okay, so now we have both these files combined, and they are combined by Git. So this solves the problem of two people working on the same project, and this is the final version. Now if they want to split again and work again, they will do the same thing. The person B will create a new branch, person A will continue with this branch, and they will continue work, and when they are done they will merge these two changes. Okay, so this was Git in general. Let me get in some action. I will show you a small demo. If you don't understand a lot of this, I'm just demonstrating this only, that when you follow me up on the other videos you don't get confused what I'm doing with Git. And yeah, just for you to have a general overview how to work with Git and version your files. Okay, so let me get in action here. I will open a terminal. Okay, but first, before we forget, we need to install Git. So because in Mac and Linux it's pre-installed, but in Windows it needs to be installed. So I have the link in here, but maybe we can search it on Google for you to search it. So I will put the link also in the description. So if we search for download Git, and you see the first link in here, and choose the version of your operating system. In my case it's Mac, it's pre-installed, and in Linux it's also pre-installed, but for Windows you need to download, and yeah, just download the 64 or 32 bits. Mostly sometimes it's detected by the browser what version you need, so it's downloaded in here .exe. I cannot install this here because I'm on a Mac, but if you execute this exe file, just continue next. It's a simple step, like you install any other application. It will be simple, and Git will be installed in your machine. Okay, so what I will do now, and I'm running terminal. You can open your terminal in Windows or Mac or Linux, whatever, and I will go to a folder that I have created for saving projects. So my folder is YouTube. If you see, okay, so here is my folder. I will create a new folder just for Git. So git test, and we'll go inside this folder. Okay, so don't get confused. For any command you can just manually create by a new folder or anything in the folder you want to create. Okay, so here I'll create a new file. Let's say index.js. Okay, if I see what I have inside here, I have only the index.js, so I have no Git installed. So how you do the Git, how you add the Git to your project is just by the command git init. So now you have initialized the Git for your project. So if I do see what I have in my folder, let me check. SLA. Now I have this .git. Don't worry about what it is. It's only here where I set the versions for every change that you do. Okay, let me go inside index.js. One moment. I'm using a magic tool here, but don't worry, you can open this in any editor or whatever. This is just for the sake of demonstrating Git and not the tools that I'm using at the moment, so don't worry about anything. Okay, so let me open the file. This is the index.js file. I'll create a function in here, like in the demo. So we'll say const. It's just a function. Okay, and here I will say just something, whatever. So git first version. Okay, I'm saving the changes. So if we remember, we started with a blank file, so these are considered as a change. So if I open my terminal here, I'm on the same directory, and I say git status, you see that index.js has changed. So this is how you find that index.js is changed. So if I say git different, there's, oh, 1 second, git k in here. Oh, it's not installed. So the index.js here has changed, and sometimes the editors will also show you that you have changes, like this blue line, this green line in here. But we also have a tool that you can visualize it. It's mostly installed when you install Git, so it's git k. Okay, I have no commits, no changes, right? So as I told you in the demo, I'm happy with my changes, so I will commit. I will say git commit. I will add a message in here, and let's say first commit. You always want a message because you need a way to find or to label your commits. First commit from person A. Now first we need to add all the changes. So there are 3 stages. You add the changes and then you commit, because sometimes you don't want some changes and you don't want to add. So let me clear this. Git add dot, I add all the changes. Let me see, git k. Okay, still no commit, as you see. And if I commit now, okay, 1 file changed it, 3 lines inserted. As you know, the file was empty. Now I inserted three lines. So if I hit git k, here you see I have the first commit as I displayed in the demo before. Okay, now I am another person. Let me go here, let me close this. Let's say I'm the person B and I want to work on this project. I would say I will create a new branch. Git checkout dash B and the name of the branch. The name of the branch we'll call it branch B. Okay, now we are in new branch. If I see git k, here I have a new branch called branch B. Okay, so as another person, I'm going here and I'm gonna make some changes. Let's say I want to add this line in here. Oh, come on. So okay, person B added a new line. He's happy with the changes. He will save the changes and now he will commit. Let's see first git status. If you okay, my terminal is stuck. Git status, the index.js, here we have changes. We add all the changes. We commit. So this is the first commit from person B. If I see git k, here, let me see. Okay, so the first person was on branch master. He did these changes, and the second person was on branch B and he did these changes. So now we can merge these two branches. And to do this, we do just, let me go to the terminal. I close git k for a second. I clear terminal. And we say it. We go to the master. So we go to the previous branch for the person A. And we say git merge and the name of the branch, so it was branch B. Okay, so we merged both of these branches, so all the changes that person A and person B did are now combined and we have a final version. So let's see on git k. Okay, so if you see, both of the branches are merged, are in here, and we have all the changes on master. So if we see index.js has the changes from both persons. So basically this was Git in general. Don't get confused if you didn't understand anything, just that I will explain this more in details later on, but just a general overview of what Git is, so you don't get confused when you read something on internet or when you follow my videos. Okay, so this was the content for today, and if you liked it, give it a like. If you want to get more content like this, please subscribe. Have a nice day and see you in the other video.